October is a very special month because it's a month where you can pressure your friends into watching scary movies and not feeling guilty when they cry, because it's all in the name of Halloween.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
So for this very terrific month of October, we've prepared some Halloween-themed videos, and to kick it all off, here's the top 6 horror classics to watch this Halloween. We're going to start with one so iconic that influenced pretty much every slasher film following its release, and that film is Halloween. Originally released in 1978, directed by John Carpenter, this film was the first to take the slasher genre to a whole new level of terror. Even to this very day, its scares hold up with real build-up and tension throughout the film. The plot goes as such. On Halloween night in 1963, Michael Myers murders his sister in the town of Haddonfield, Illinois. He escapes on October 30th, 1978 from Smith Grove Sanitarium and returns home to kill again. The next day, Halloween, Michael stalks teenager Laurie Strode and her friends while Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Sam Loomis, pursues his patient. I remember watching this film years ago. It was one of the first horror films I actually watched. Our family had it on VHS, so I stuck it on and had nightmares for days after watching it. The film features plenty of gore, plenty of tense moments, and some genuine scares that I can vividly remember years after watching it. And though it might seem a bit outdated when compared to the effects of today's films, it's still a ton of fun to watch, and I would definitely recommend. The Blair Witch Project. Though many of you have seen this, some may have not. For those that haven't heard of it, it's what's revolutionized their found footage genre and gave way for countless films that try to replicate its style, like Paranormal Activity, Wreck, and Cloverfield. The film tells the tale of 3 film students who've travelled to a small town to collect documentary footage about the Blair Witch, a legendary local murderer. Over the course of several days, the students interview townspeople and gather clues to support the tale's veracity. But the project takes a frightening turn when the students lose their way in the woods and begin hearing horrific noises. The film still holds up with some very unique scares using the camera's visual and audio input. You don't see any monsters, no big budget effects. It's a small, effective, and iconic film that's definitely one to give plenty of scares this Halloween. Next up is The Thing from 1982, another film by master director John Carpenter. Now the first question is it scary? Well...
Clear! Clear.
No. It's fucking nightmare-inducing. The Thing is the kind of film you watch as a grown man and need to see a psychiatrist after witnessing the horrors present in the film. The synopsis goes as such. In remote Antarctica, a group of American research scientists are disturbed at their base camp by a helicopter shooting at a sled dog. When they take in the dog, it brutally attacks both humans and canines in the camp, and they discover that the beast can assume the shape of its victims. A resourceful helicopter pilot and the camp doctor lead the camp crew in a desperate, gory battle against the vicious creature before it picks them off one by one. The monster designs are super unique, with animatronics that hold up to this very day, and you aren't going to be forgetting some of the images you'll be seeing in this film anytime soon. A classic in every meaning of the word. Definitely give it a watch. Henry Selick's A Nightmare Before Christmas from 1994. Now, I know this isn't exactly a horror film, but it does feature some scary elements in it, so I've decided to include it on this list as it's been highly debated for several years whether this is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. And in my personal opinion, it's definitely a Halloween film. A Halloween film that can also be viewed on Christmas. just like how Gremlins is a Christmas film that can also be viewed on Halloween. For those who somehow haven't seen the movie, the story goes like this. We follow the misadventures of Jack Skellington, Halloween Town's beloved Pumpkin King, who has become bored with the annual routine of frightening people in the real world. When Jack accidentally stumbles on Christmas Town, all bright colours and warm spirits, he gets a new lease of life, and he plots to bring Christmas Town under his control by kidnapping Santa Claus. But Jack soon discovers that even their best laid plans can go seriously awry. There are some super creative creatures seen in this film with songs that stuck in my head even 15 years after I originally watched it, so be sure to give The Nightmare Before Christmas a watch this Halloween. At number 2 we have Trick or Treat, an anthology directed by Michael Dougherty, who you might know as the director for the upcoming Godzilla sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters. But that's not the only reason we decided to give Trick or Treat a shout out, since it's genuinely a very intriguing film to watch this Halloween. The film is an anthology that features 5 interwoven stories which demonstrate that some traditions are best not forgotten, as the residents of a small town face real ghosts and goblins on Halloween night. Tales of terror reveal the consequences of extinguishing jack-o'-lanterns before midnight and a grumpy hermit's encounter with a sinister trick-or-treater. It's difficult to describe the story since there are several in the film, so I'm just gonna have to say, go watch it for yourself, you won't be disappointed. The Shining. Yes, the one and only classic from legendary director Stanley Kubrick. Considered one of the greatest horror films ever made, this movie changed everything. Released in 1980, this film stars renowned actor Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance, a writer who's currently experiencing writer's block, so he becomes a winter caretaker at the isolated Overlook Hotel in Colorado in hopes to clear his head. He settles in along with his wife, Wendy, played by Shelley Duvall, and his son, Danny, who is plagued by psychic premonitions. As Jack's writing goes nowhere and Danny's visions become more disturbing, Jack discovers the hotel's dark secrets and begins to unravel into a homicidal maniac hell-bent on terrorizing his family. This film is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. The performances are great, the scares are all still very effective even nearly 40 years after its initial release. I'm actually going to see this film in a packed out theatre on October 31st, which just goes to show you how relevant the movie is even to this very day. If you haven't watched it, grab some popcorn, grab some friends, just go watch it. Well, that's about all we have for today. We hope you enjoyed and that you check out the movies we mentioned. What's your favourite horror movie? Let us know in the comment section down below, and be sure to subscribe to us at DangerVille to become a resident today. Also, remember to like our Facebook and Twitter page where we'll regularly post live updates on all relevant news. I've been your host Alastair, and we'll see you in the next one.